Mary definitely knows how to captivate an audience, because even I was watching this back this morning and I felt myself welling up. Like, I felt the tears coming. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 6, episode 10. Before we get into today's episode, I need y'all to go ahead and hit the like button for me. If you have any hypes left, you can go ahead to the comment section, swipe right, and hit the hype function. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Overall, I enjoyed this episode. It was cool. It did feel a little bit like filler, you know, but we do have some things to talk about as usual. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we start the episode with Whitney throwing a surprise potluck for Britney to cheer her up after the fiasco on the plane with Lisa and Meredith. They're throwing her a high body count hair party. So they all tease their hair up into these bumps. Well, some of it was just like, you know, bird's nest sitting up on top of their heads. But, you know, they tried to mimic that bumper, as Angie would call it, that Britney had last year. Bronwin set up a mobile teddy bear station for her. So all of the women are going to make stuffed animals for Britney and put their own little recording into it. When I tell you people got money to waste. Everyone had a message for Britney except for Mary in their little stuffed animal. Mary's was nothing but static. Mary said, listen, I'm not about to sit up here and be fake with you, girl. Mary says on the boat that she had an issue with Britney. Then we get a flashback of Mary telling Britney that she's not cool or cute. Mary says that she's being cordial because what Meredith did was not cool. So Bronwin says that Meredith reached out to her, and she says that she doesn't know what everybody is talking about. Meredith wants people to believe that she didn't say anything to Britney. And my thing is, just because you didn't say anything directly to her, you weren't speaking at her, you weren't looking at her, doesn't mean that you weren't addressing her. Listen, I'm not about to play this game of semantics with this white woman. This is like their favorite game that they like to play. You were yelling loud enough for her to hear. It was indirect, whatever. It was still directed towards her. So stop it, Meredith. It's like all of these mind games that these people like to play. It's so incredibly manipulative. Like, yeah, I was cutting up on that plane. So in my opinion, the girls are pretty much saying that they want to ice Lisa and Meredith out if they don't take accountability for what they did.
The other girls are kind of over it.
And you know that Heather is leading the charge in this. So then we have Bronwin telling the ladies about the cheating rumors. And I think that this is her way of getting ahead of it before the ladies find out, which I respect, and I will probably do the same. Remember last year when Gwen caught him on the phone talking or texting some lady? He's staying on that damn phone. Did y'all notice that Heather and Mary were sitting there holding hands while this conversation was happening? What is going on there? The bottom line is, Bronwin is trying to give the ladies the impression that this is not a deal breaker for her in her marriage. I feel like Bronwin is playing the long game here, so that when it comes time to present whatever she needs to present to her lawyer, she'll have everything stacked up. And I'm not even mad at that. In the next scene, we have Mary and Robert Jr. going to the church. She says that this church has been in her family for the past 60 years. Now, they've been working on renovations for 2 years, but it really does look beautiful. Mary is talking to Robert Jr., and he just looks dazed and spaced out. And I think that he is on one of his downward dips right now. That's just me putting it nicely. Robert Jr. says that all of the people that he was cool with in his program have relapsed, or I don't know if it's like just his friends or whatever, but he's saying that they relapsed. And Mary is saying, did you tell them to pray? And this is the problem right here. People have chemical imbalances. People have real life trauma and pain that they seemingly cannot escape from. And that is where these addictions come from. People are trying to cope with pain. Addiction is escapism, essentially. So when you tell somebody, oh, you just got to pray it away. No, people need chronic healing. People need hypnotherapy. They need talk therapy. They need whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's not just prayer, right? I hear people say all the time that faith without works is dead. Don't you have to meet God halfway? Everything is not about prayer. I remember when I first got into therapy when I was in my early 20s, and a family member of mine was like, what'd she say? You putting yourself through all of these changes? It's like, no, motherfucker, like, life has been putting me through these changes, and I'm trying to address it in a healthy way. Prayer is not the solution for everything. Listen, we could really have a long conversation about that, about the cognitive dissonance between, religious people and like acknowledging and addressing that people need real, like, tangible material help. But child, we not even going to get into that. Next up, we get into this scene with Lisa and John. So Lisa is under the impression that she was giving their son advice. John corrected her saying, were you giving him advice or were you telling him how to think? So clearly there are some philosophical differences between them in the way that they parent clearly. I'm giving them both grace in this situation because I can see how Lisa is a handful. But on the other hand, I can see how Lisa, being the only woman in her family, she's up against a lot. There are a lot of expectations put on women in marriages, in motherhood, period. Men in marriages tend to live longer and tend to be more successful. Single men tend to die faster than their counterparts, whereas married women tend to die faster. Single women tend to live longer. There is a reason for that. You are always in service of somebody else, in service of your children, in service of your husband. That will wear you down eventually, where you're just giving everything that you have, and nobody's giving to you or contributing to you or your wants or your needs in the same way. It's ridiculous. Women have a lot of responsibility and expectation in their marriages. Lisa may not be a great listener, but there's also a lot of pressure on her as a woman. And it's probably why she takes them kids down to the drive-thru every day instead of making them a home-cooked meal, because the girl is tired.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
Mind you, I don't even have kids. As many nights as I come in here or I just, get off my computer after work and I'm like, girl, dinner, sardines and crackers or whatever the case is. Because, girl, I be tired for real. So I don't know how y'all do it with children. Like, one would seem like a lot to me. Y'all be having 2 and 3 and more. Child. John says that they are so ingrained in business that it doesn't feel like they have anything else to talk about. He says that she doesn't like to talk about feelings. I can see this being true. Lisa says that we don't talk as much, but I don't feel the same way as you. And Lisa also points out that he doesn't hug her as much. And I felt bad for her because when you can feel the affection slipping away, like it's real. I will say on the positive side, if you're having conversations, there's space for things to be worked out. I would be worried if a motherfucker just shuts down and they don't want to talk to you at all. That's when you need to be worried. If I come to you with an issue and I'm still complaining, there's hope. In the next scene, we have Jared and Britney. I don't have a whole lot to say about this scene. Everything about it was childish. It was very middle school. Girl, this is the man that you have forsaken your children for. I'm listening to this conversation, and you would think that these are two people in their early 20s. These are two big, hard foot man and woman. Big age people. This man got a head full of gray and white hair. She's middle-aged.
Stop it! You're middle-aged!
The incessant mind games. I just can't. I can't stand either of these clowns, to be honest with y'all. And then the way she's sitting up there crying. Y'all, I think she's an actress. I always see these clips of her online singing these show tunes. She trying to break into Broadway or something. I just don't believe whatever she's trying to sell. I'm not buying what you selling, girl. If you have to ask a man, what are we? Where is it going? That's not the man for you. He belongs to the streets. He belongs to the community. And you need to act accordingly. A man who wants you to be in his life in a certain way is going to let you know. And he's going to be very intentional about how he moves with you. You won't have to ask any questions. I promise you that. I think the girls need to wake up to this. Sometimes The man that you're messing with, dealing with casually or whatever, he is not meant to be your man. You be trying to make every motherfucker your man. He's not supposed to be your man. That is a man of the streets. That's a man of the community. Just get the dick and go. Sometimes that's all it needs to be. In the next scene, we have Bronwin and Todd. When I tell you I cannot stand this motherfucker, I be wanting to slap the shit out of him whenever I see him.
Will not stop. Will you get out? You want somebody?
Bronwin is telling Todd that she ends up not feeling good enough. Imagine you're Bronwin, right? By most standards, a young, pretty, beautiful woman, right? With her life ahead of her. You sitting up here with this old fart telling him that you don't feel good enough, you don't feel pretty or sexy enough. Y'all, this is the patriarchy right here. This is the patriarchy that I'm talking about. You got this old ass slob of a nigga and you are begging for his affection and for his attention because in your mind you're not good enough. This is how patriarchy works, right? It makes the man who looks like a slug, who looks like a Mucinex blob, feel like he's the prize, right? So you got all of these young, pretty women competing for your attention. It always breeds this competition between women. Bronwin, you need to get out into the streets and find you a YN. Get with a young nigga, quickly. Have somebody playing in your phone, go out, go on dates, be flirting, have somebody playing in your face, wake that up. Stop playing this game with Todd. In the words of Candy Miss Worldwide Legendary Burris, when you're out in the streets, don't think I'm not. When you thottin' with them bops, don't think I'm not. Well, she ain't say that second line. That's my own little twist. But y'all get the point. He should be worried that she doesn't find him attractive enough. But patriarchy makes it so that you, as a beautiful young woman, feel like you need to compete for an ugly ass man's attention and affection against other women. He's just sitting there looking so unbothered. He don't give a fuck. Bronwin, like I said, girl, run down in them streets. So then we have Mary down at her church getting ready to give her a sermon. She says that Robert Jr. was on his way there and he was too high. So she told him not to go. We got all the girls pulling up to the church. And y'all, I love what Whitney has on. I said, oh my God, this outfit is so puss. Maybe Whitney got a stylist for the season because she has been turning it for me in these last 2 episodes with the looks. Angie and Bronwin look really cute too. Everybody looked church appropriate. Everybody looked really good. Even Heather. I love how when Angie pulled up, all of the black people at the church started greeting her like they all have a relationship with her. Like you could tell that she and Mary really be hanging out for real. That was so cute. Then everybody was surprised to see that Lisa and Meredith came through. And I was like, why are y'all shocked that these ladies are coming to support Mary? That really didn't make sense to me. Mary is that girl. Everybody's going to show up for Mary. Can I just say as a sidebar too, I would definitely go to Mary's church. Like the energy of Mary's church is cool. And I'm saying that as somebody who has been to a lot of churches growing up. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother that is, she went to an Episcopalian church and I hated it because it was so boring and I was always falling asleep in there and it just was not lively. Whereas when I went to go spend the night at my best friend's house and I had to pack my, change of clothes for the weekend for church because, black kids growing up, you spend the night at somebody's house, you going to church with them on Sunday. Hello? So anyway, my best friend went to a Baptist church, and then I had another friend where they would wear all white and they would wrap their heads in white. But they were from Trinidad. But my best friend, my next door neighbor, she was Black American. They went to a Baptist church, First Calvary in Bed-Stuy. But I remember loving that church because the choir was jumping and lively, and it made me feel things. And I wanted to participate in the church. Like, I remember they had their Christmas concert going on. And baby, I was like, oh, I need to be in this. But yeah, like going to different churches have different energies for me. And I don't like the energy of every church. But I would definitely go to Mary's church. I love a choir. I love pomp and circumstance. I love the running up and down and the carrying on up and down the aisles. You know what I mean? Like, I love all of that. Y'all, when Mary was speaking, not a face was dry in that audience. Mary knows how to put on a show. And even though I don't identify as Christian, I can appreciate a good show. And I think that this is what pastors do. This is what reverends do. They get up there and they put on a show. Period. They are entertainers. That's how I look at these people, right? I hope that nobody takes that as disrespect, but I really don't care. That's just my personal perspective. So I'm not saying that they don't deliver the word. I'm not saying that they don't do what they need to do, but you have to be entertaining. You have to grab the attention of the people. And Mary definitely knows how to captivate an audience, because even I was watching this back this morning and I felt myself welling up. Like, I felt the tears coming, because she talks with so much conviction, right? She talks with real power and real emotion, and she knows how to command an audience. So I could appreciate that. Now, I did see the clip last week of these white people down to TLC or whoever, Lifetime, whatever, putting together this documentary about Mary's church being a cult. And can I just say, I don't give a fuck. Everything is a cult. Every church, just about every religion, culty. Christianity, cult. Mormonism, cult. Beyonce fans, culty. Nicki Minaj fans, culty. Fandoms, standoms, culty. Housewives culture, cult. Housewives fandom, culty. The fact that people can get down in comment section and make death threats against people because you don't like that somebody said something against your fave, cult. Drag race, cult. Drag race fandom, culty. Hello? Everything is a motherfucking cult. So y'all want me to pick up my pitchfork and go against Mary, a black woman, because you white people with your late asses decided that y'all wanted to create a documentary about a black woman? Get the fuck out of my face, disrespectfully. But y'all, that was the episode. Go ahead and get down in the comments with me. Let me know how you felt about this one. You already know that I want to hear from you. Go ahead and hit the like button for me on the way out. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I'll see y'all for the next one. Peace.